So, I already signed up for this beta test, so I'm curious what this is going to be about, to be fair. Oh, okay. Actual lore things, hopefully? Okay, that's one of the ones that was on the website. The location's pretty. Oh, the cat. Also, that squirrel one I don't think we saw. We didn't see that one either. We didn't see you on the website, but we saw you in general. It's a very different kind of mood. We didn't see those on the website, I don't believe. Don't lower the quality. Rude. Pretty area, though. The dragon one we didn't see on the website. We did see it in general, though, because I'm pretty sure that Kiana was using it. Like, the thing I'm curious about is, are we going to set them up as, like, do we get to pick which ones the characters are using to ride them out around the map? Also, good mon. Also, that food looks good. Who are you? Good pet. How did it apply tape, though? Look at its legs. How did it put the tape on it? What is actually in the icon either? Like, I get that those are meant to be wings, but is that the head? Is it, like, meant to be a horse slash Pegasus of sorts? Or what is it? Also, if Fatfoot can appear in this game, then let's bloody go. Hyacinth would fit in way too well here. And just make Ika one of the bloody animas. It'd be so fitting. Come on. It'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't. But yeah, no, I find this pretty damn charming. Hey, look at it. I appreciate all of the different kinds of animals here that they're repping. I still don't get the food head thing that they showed in the gameplay preview. I don't get it at all. All the messing around with the hat over there in the background, like, let's go. It's silly stuff that I like. I'm anticipating seeing potentially other characters from Honkai get introduced into this, since they seem to be adding an actual thorough role in for Blade, which is very bizarre still to think about, because where is he going to find the time for this, between doing what he does as a Stellaron hunter and then just coming over to this game? He didn't want depression anymore. Good. Good, Blade. You're improving your mental health. Good. By going to a chiller world where you can maybe focus on dealing with any sort of getting the help you need. Like, good man, let's go. Everyone should be focusing on their mental health. That includes him. Let's go. The derpy little photos too. And this creature obviously we have not seen in the trailers unless I didn't see it. This is the girl who's on the bloody thumbnail essentially. She's the mascot. Okay, so important, I see. It's neat that we'll actually get a seemingly fully customizable character. I'm all in on that. I'm all in. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be goofy. I'm hoping that there's good multiplayer functionality in this game, since because it's so casual, I want there to be that element where you can play against your friends, because I think it'd be, as long as it's obviously not so tournament heavy and competitively rigged based on the characters you gacha for, if you're able to make any character at least good enough where you can compete, I don't know how they'd make it beyond obviously the gacha extent. Like, my hope is it's just the characters and the quote-unquote anima are all available technically within the game as it exists, and they're not restricted via characters, so you can fill out your roles effectively without gachas, and the characters that you pull for instead apply unique buffs to your teams, or unique effects, or unique synergy with specific anima. I think that'd be a nice way to balance it a bit so it's not too hard focused on gacha, but I also know that that's how the game makes its money and how it supports its own development, so it makes sense for them to at least make it somewhat reliant. Just, if they're gonna do that, I don't want it to have a competitive scene like how Honkai Impact 3rd did with Honkai Impact 3rd's endgame modes. You have to pull on the most recent things in order to do well. Meanwhile, Star Rail doesn't have that competitive aspect against other players, but pulling for more characters benefits you. I want that sort of vibe for this, rather than making it so people have to get the most recent characters to do well at all. Because the moment you introduce competing with other players, you create an environment where whales will always win. I'd rather this be a little more casual. I'm cool with them integrating in ways to make money, especially if this game is free to access, like they deserve to get money for the hard work they do. Just, I'm curious how they're going to go about it, how they're going to encourage people to pull, and how the banners are going to work, considering there's technically multiple aspects of what is considered. But if you limit the creature collecting aspect of the game behind banners, you're ignoring what makes Pokemon and other creature collecting games good. So if you're restricting the characters though, that's fine. But the creatures, if you limit them too much, you're only going to create problems. Because no one likes it when you restrict the sort of mons you can get behind a paywall. The characters, if they're an optional addition, that's fine. But functionality restraints in a creature collecting game would just make people mad. They need to balance the way that they handle the banners here, because if they do it based on the creatures and they think that that's gonna work in the favor of the game, like, I get that it's not technically, the gameplay itself is not focused on necessarily creature collecting in the way that we imagine it, since it seems to be a chess sort of game, which is kind of weird. Now, that's the way it was categorized in the beta test, and I wouldn't have thought so upon seeing it. Like, to me, it's just kind of based on the goofy events that they've done in their other games, which I'm all in on. I have no opposition, but it's very bizarre to see the comparison of how they view their game versus how I view it looking at it. Like, to me, this looks more like a creature collection game so far. Just a really pretty one. We'll see, though. We'll see. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing how they link this to the Honkai universe. I'm looking forward to seeing how they toe the line for a balance on them being able to make profit for making such a cool game and not restricting what the player can do in this sort of world behind a paywall. And how significant it's going to impact potentially how people interact with Hoyo games, since I'd say that Star Rail offers you the opportunity to play with your friends in some ways when it comes to its game. This game, though, because of its entire premise, there is such an open way to make it so you can play with your friends directly and it make complete sense for the world you're in. Like, it's meant to be this casual time in this seaside town with these creatures. Yeah, vibe. I'd spend time with my friends there. Yeah, absolutely. We're not on some grand, like, based on what we know so far, we're not on some grand overarching story that would limit reasons why other people would be able to be involved. This feels like the world where it's the most fitting choice to be able to implement a player interaction into the actual world itself. Just make it so we're able to play mini games or actually compete against each other. It's like how Pokemon does. Pokemon kind of does that well. I know that it's not exactly Pokemon in its gameplay, but it's definitely following some of its ideas, and that's fair enough. That's not a problem at all, if anything. If you're using the ideas in a unique way, then that's perfectly cool. If anything, I trust Hoyo to make a better Pokemon game than I do Game Freak. So, I'm all in.